Alright, so this is ElevenLabs and they recently just released the version 3 of their model. This is their latest AI model for turning text into speech, and one feature that I do really like from version 3 is you can essentially control the emotion of the character in the text itself. You can make the voice to sound happy, angry, calm, sad, etc. And this will make the audio to sound more human and more natural, which is really cool. But this is not the only AI model with such capability. There is a competing model called IndexTTS2 that can do the same thing. But unlike ElevenLabs, which is basically a paid AI model, this one is essentially open source. You can run it locally on your computer without any limit. And this could be a great alternative to ElevenLabs. In fact, this could be better than ElevenLabs. So I have tested these two models and I have these samples that I'm going to play in this video. Now, I wanted to guess which one was created by ElevenLabs and which one was created by IndexTTS2 model. Now, they are used the exact same settings. I'm using my voice as a reference. Also, I use this transcription or this text as the input for these two models. Now, I'm going to play the sample number 1 first.
I'm really excited to be here today, and everything feels light and positive. This is one of those moments where things just seem to work out. This is not acceptable! And I'm frustrated that it keeps happening! I expect better, and I won't stay silent about it! I'm speaking slowly and clearly, with no rush at all. Everything is under control, and there's nothing to worry about.
Okay, so that was sample number 1. Is it ElevenLabs? Is it IndexTTS2? Well, let me just play the sample number 2 first.
I'm really excited to be here today, and everything feels light and positive. This is one of those moments where things just seem to work out. This is not acceptable, and I'm frustrated that keeps happening. I expect better, and I won't stay silent about it. I'm speaking slowly and clearly, with no rush at all. Everything is under control, and there is nothing to worry about.
Okay, there are 3 different emotions in these samples. There is happy, angry, and calm, but which one is it? Well, if you select sample 1 as the one that was created by ElevenLabs, you would be wrong, because this one, even though it sounds more emotional, I would say, it was made by IndexTTS2, and that is just crazy because this is basically a free model beating a premium model. So let me show you how you can how you can run IndexTTS2 model on your computer easily, and how you can basically use it as an alternative to ElevenLabs AI. Now, first, you need to create your own recording, ideally from your own voice. And for that, I highly recommend that in that recording, in that audio file, you have a wide range of emotion, because that will be very useful for this AI tool to understand how you speak in certain emotional level. You can use this prompt, and for this particular prompt, I have 3 emotions: happy, angry, and calm. But of course, if you are more expressive, you can add more emotions into the mix. Now, this prompt will be available in the description down below, and you can use it on ChatGPT, on Gemini, Perplexity, Mistral, etc. And after that, you can read the paragraphs that were created by these large language models, and you can record it on your computer. If you're using Windows 10 or Windows 11, there should be a built-in voice recorder tool, and then you can record normally and upload the files to either, to IndexTTS2, or maybe you want to do some testing, you can use it on the demo in IndexTTS2 Hugging Face Space. I'm going to put this in the description down below. But again, this is an online demo. But if you want to run it locally, then you must navigate to Google and search for stability metrics. This is, I would say, the easiest way to install a lot of open source AI models. Now you can open this on GitHub, and you can scroll down and click the download button for either Windows 10, Windows, Linux, and macOS. And of course, you have to choose the one based on your system. So after that, you can launch Stability Metrics on your computer. The onboarding process is quite simple. Basically, they're going to ask you if you want to use portable mode or regular mode. I honestly recommend using the portable mode because this will simplify the storage because it will download lots of files, lots of components, and I think it makes sense to store everything within the same directory, which is basically the portable mode. Now you can click continue. You can share or not share analytics, that is optional. I'm going to click don't share, and you can skip first time setup. There you go. Now click packages and then go to add package. Let's scroll down and find an option called 12GB. So this is available for both NVIDIA and AMD. And you can click the install button and it will download everything to run this AI tool. We're not downloading the AI model yet. We're just downloading a tool that can run the AI model, and the name of that tool is 12GB. So basically, after you have downloaded 12GB via Stability Metrics, you can basically open the packages again. Let me just open mine where I have 12GB installed. So it's going to look like this. In the packages menu, you can click launch for 12GB and just wait for about 20 to 30 seconds for everything for 12GB to initialize, and later you can open the link via a web browser. It could be any browser because, well, it's just running locally on your computer. So this is the URL and I'm going to just copy it. Let me just copy, or you can just click it right away, and I'm going to open my browser. So it's going to look like this. There you go. So 12GB is a tool that can run lots of AI models like video models, image models, etc. And that's why the interface and the menu just don't make sense. Like here, we have to navigate to the video generator, even though we want to generate audio, but that's just beside the point. So here in this menu, you have to select TTS and you have to select IndexTTS2 as the model. And this is the interface. Now for the voices, there are 3 different options. You can provide a voice cloning. You can also create a voice cloning plus emotion. This will make the audio more human, more realistic, but you have to provide 2 different audio, one for the regular voice and the other one with full of expression. But for simplicity, I'll just use voice cloning. And by the way, you can also use a dialogue mode, but I'll just focus on voice cloning here. Now, after that, you can upload the audio file that you have created or recorded earlier. I'm going to just drag and drop the sample that I've created. So it sounds like this. I'm really excited to be here today and everything feels light and positive. This is not acceptable. And I'm frustrated that it keeps happening. I'm speaking slowly and clearly with no rush. Yeah, so the samples that I shown you earlier were actually created based on this audio reference. So it was my actual voice, and despite not sound very expressive, I think IndexTTS2 was able to make it to sound a lot more emotional and a lot better. So that's the power of this AI model. And if your audio is not quite clean, you can click remove background music, but that is optional. Now right here in the prompts, basically you can enter the text that you want to turn into audio. And of course it is like ElevenLabs version 3 where you can specify the emotion on each paragraph or perhaps on each sentence in the text input. Now for this example, for this demo, I guess I'm going to use this one that I have created. So I'll use this. But by the way, these audio tags like curiosity and this anticipation, they are optional because there is actually a default emotion that you can choose for the whole recording or for the whole generation. I'm going to copy this first. And I'm going to go back to 12GB and I'll just insert that right here. So if you don't use any audio tags, then you can just use default emotion. Like maybe you want the whole paragraph to sound sad, angry, surprised, etc. But even if you don't provide that, usually this AI tool is good enough to understand the context and will apply the appropriate emotion. So that is really cool. Now for the duration, you can set all the way to 600 seconds or basically 10 minutes. That is quite long, and I think that's probably more than ElevenLabs version 3, which is only 5,000 characters, and that is not even close to 10 minutes. So that's really insane. Now I'll just focus on maybe 60 seconds or 1 minute, and that's about it. There is advanced mode where you can play around with other settings, and also you can select a different memory profile, but by default it should be enough. It can run with just 6 GB of video memory. Now when you're done with everything, just click generate. and just wait for the model to be downloaded if you're doing this for the first time. The size of the model is about, I think, 4.83 gigabytes, so it is not big. It is quite compact. I think it's quite moderate for most AI models. And just wait until it finishes, and after that, it will start generating the audio based on your input. Alright, so it took about 1 minute to generate the whole audio, so 30 seconds, and for me it is going to be 1 minute for my computer, but if you have a more powerful computer, that could be even faster. Now let me just play the whole video, the whole audio, and we are trying to match it with the expression based on the input. Let me just
At
play
dawn,
it.
the city held its breath, as if it knew something small but important was about to change. A delivery cyclist stopped at a red light and noticed a lost parakeet perched on the traffic sign, chirping like it owned the morning. When the light turned green, the bird fluttered down and followed the cyclist for 3 blocks, a streak of green joy against the gray streets. By the time they parted ways, the city exhaled, and the day felt unexpectedly kinder.
Alright, so maybe one downside that I do notice about this model is the quality will often depends on the input audio. So that's why earlier I highly recommend that in the input you have a wide range of emotion, because as you can see or as you can hear, there are a few samples, there are a few sentences where they kind of sound the same because there is no emotion sample in the audio file. In the file, there is only happy, angry, and calm, but there is no emotion for anticipation, curiosity, and also warm. So they kind of look or sound the same. So make sure that in your audio recording, you have all the ranges of emotions that you want to have in the generated audio later. So that's just one tip if you want to get the best result using IndexTTS2. But other than that, this is a fantastic tool. You can use it without any limit. It is also pretty fast, and of course, you are not you don't have to connect it to the internet to run the model. So that's how you can run, install and run IndexTTS2 locally as an alternative to ElevenLabs version 3. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Have a great day.